place. Do you want to be the Rainy John, tell the truth, the Rainy John that cares about? Because I know you are.
Detectives press a 14-year-old boy for the truth in front of his grandmother as they question him about whether he sexually assaulted a 91-year-old woman.
Oh, hell. There's the truth to be told and you know it.
Welcome to...
That nigga definitely did it. That nigga definitely
Crime
did it.
Fix. I'm Anjanette Levy. This is a really disturbing case. Last June, Jesse Stone, he was a 14-year-old boy in Reddick, Florida, who was living with his grandparents.
That nigga couldn't even look in the camera for the mugshot. That nigga guilty as fuck. That nigga know he did that shit. Come on, bro.
Deputies at a 91-year-old woman's home after she'd called to say she'd been sexually assaulted.
Okay, I'm up here in Reddick. I'm at a house. A 91-year-old lady calls in saying she was just raped. We get on scene. She's beat up really bad.
Now, it was late at night, and this was a terrifying call. Who would do this to a 91-year-old woman?
What was going
Deputies
through that
started
nigga's
walking the
head
property,
when he
looking
was
for
doing that
clues
shit?
or someone possibly hiding. Others started securing the crime scene.
We'll just get some tape. We'll lock down the house. Once she shoots out, we'll wrap it up.
Bro, it's always a common trend in these type of
coming. Major crimes coming.
Shit's tragic.
Canaan's coming. One's coming. Who do you want to go with her to the hospital? I don't care as long as someone goes. I mean, if you talk to her, that's fine. If being it's a female, maybe Alyssa can go a little bit more comfortable. There was that lady moved out the way, right?
With the phone?
Yeah.
Hey, have the neighbor with the phone step out of our way.
Now, this is a very, very serious case, so it was all hands on deck. The rest of the neighborhood could be in danger with a rapist on the loose.
So she saw a shadow approaching her, and all of a sudden he just started like wailing on her. She's significantly injured in her face and got a big gash on her arm. She's 91 years old.
91?
So she says that the guy sounded Hispanic and he was telling her to be still and penetrated her with his fingers. And she said that he felt like he was not erect, but maybe trying to be. She said,
nigga, what type of freaky ass Diddy organization, bro, nigga? What type of fucking ringleader, bro? This nigga has to be the head. This nigga has to be the head of some sort of freaky ass organization underground. He has to. This nigga is only 14 and he's moving like this. That nigga gonna be raising hell when he turn like 21. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she says he never.
This nigga's only 14.
She said he never took off his pants and it lasted about 15-20 minutes, and he left about 5 to 10 minutes prior to us going 97.
Now, 97 is part of a police code, meaning that deputies have arrived at a call. Collecting and preserving evidence is, of course, going to be very important in this case, and it appears plenty of evidence was left behind by the perp.
To do shit like this, you have to think about doing it. You have to process it, and then you have to act it out. So what was really going through that nigga head when he committed this shit? What was the whole thought process? Cause like,
That's fine.
There's no.
This is a fucking monster. Y'all niggas need to watch him. You feel me? Police like to watch regular citizens. Y'all need to watch this nigga because he's gonna be a fucking problem when he gets older.
Only Hispanics that she knows is right across.
That's at their risk.
Road right here on this side.
Police are looking for a suspect and evidence, but they also want to know whether any of the neighbors saw anything.
Hey, did you see anybody run through here or anything?
Not in my yard, but went in the house at 9:30 to eat dinner.
Okay.
And came back out with my son and said he saw all the cars from there.
Okay.
I'm sitting there for a minute. And
Your son live here too?
Huh?
Your son live here too?
Yeah, my son lives here. My daughter and son-in-law are down here from West Virginia on vacation.
Okay.
This shit's
There was
crazy.
a car earlier that came up there, like, when it was still daylight out there, but I think that was one of her friends.
Okay. I think
It looked familiar, like I've seen the car before.
Okay.
But nobody's been in my yard because I got dogs out, so.
Right. Okay.
Feel okay?
I hope.
I mean, I've known this lady since I was 10 years old.
Okay. I mean, it appears somebody was over there messing with the house. So.
That lady's daughters wanted her to move so many times out here too. She kept saying no, no, no.
All right.
Later that day, deputies talked to more neighbors.
When I was young, I wanted to be a doctor, but I ended up making oatmeal. I'm Brian Tate.
I was out in the back looking in my shop. I guess when all this was going down, I never heard nobody yell or anything. That's what was weird.
During the night?
Yeah, right.
I didn't come until 9:30. Came back outside, and then said all these lights were going up the road. That's when I came back out and talked to you.
Did the deputies talk to you last
I
night?
gave them my name and stuff. Yeah, they just said, "Did you see anything?" I said, "No, I didn't see nothing." And they can't come through my yard. Them two were out.
Sure.
And I think jump fences. So.
Okay. Do you guys have videos, man?
Now little nigga in trouble.
I got a 7.
Now
I
little nigga's in trouble.
What the victim told police was absolutely terrifying. According to court documents, the woman said when the defendant jumped or pounced on top of her, she began to fight him by trying to push him off. Then he struck her face with his fists. Now keep in mind, as I told you, this is a 91-year-old woman laying in her bed in her own home.
If this nigga can do this to a 91-year-old woman, it clearly means this nigga got no limit and he won't stop for nobody. So clearly this nigga does what he wants to. So this nigga clearly is a problem. If he's, I'm telling you, if he's not washed,
then she repeatedly prayed, "Dear God, please help me." And the defendant told her to shut up, shut up. Next, the victim said her underwear was torn off and she ended up face down and she was sexually assaulted. But then it stopped and the man left. During the investigation, detectives had encountered
that nigga
a
definitely
14-year-old
did this
boy
shit. There's
named
a
Jesse
trend in
Stone
people
in the
that do shit
neighborhood.
like this, and I'm seeing
They
the
noticed a
comments.
red
I'm
stain
seeing
on
it
his
right here,
clothes and
right
asked
here.
to get a
Yeah,
swab.
that nigga did that shit for
His
sure.
grandmother consented to that and him giving a DNA sample.
Yeah.
Then 8 days
Guilty.
after the sexual assault,
Guilty.
detectives received the results that showed that Jesse Stone's DNA was left on the 91-year-old victim. They brought Jesse Stone into the sheriff's office in handcuffs. They sat him in a room by himself for quite a while.
Man, you doing all right?
Ugh, nigga looks so disgusting.
Jesse, I'm Ryan.
Fuck.
We're coming here to talk to you just a little bit, okay? We're waiting for your mom to get over here. Just so we can all be here.
Bro,
and
my
talk
eyes
and
are
figure out what's
fucking
going on, all right?
irritated looking at this.
You sure you don't want water or anything? Okay. So let's have the door a little knock, all right?
Jesse is in this room for more than 2 hours, and eventually they give him a blanket. It was likely very cold in that room.
Bro, don't give that
with
nigga a
AC on.
fucking
It is
blanket.
Florida in June,
That nigga
after all.
suffering the cold. Yo,
They
y'all
move
niggas.
Jesse Stone later to an
So I
interview
fucking hate
room,
the
and his
police.
grandma, who's raising him, shows up.
These niggas have
Jesse, I'm
sympathy
asking some
for
questions. I feel a
fucking
little weird. This
nobody.
should just help me understand and make sure that I'm on the same page as you. So, do you understand the difference between the truth and a lie?
Yes.
Okay, so tell me what the truth means to you.
The truth is what actually happened.
Okay.
What actually happened? Fuck nuts.
Something that's made up or not true.
Okay.
The detectives read Jesse his rights, and they ask him about being out in the neighborhood the night that the woman was assaulted.
Do you remember that night? So when I showed you that video of you walking, so that would have been late Saturday night.
Yes.
Do you remember everything that you did that night?
Yeah, I couldn't go to sleep, so I got up and I headed down the road to watch the cars that are coming from the concert. I've watched the cars looking for modified vehicles for a while, and then I went walking across the street for, I'm guessing, an hour before I came back to my house.
So you heard there that the detectives had seen Jesse Stone on video in the neighborhood. They'd also met him in the neighborhood. Then Jesse Stone talked about seeing the victim hours before she was attacked. It was something the victim had already told the detectives, that the boy she knew as Randy
Get
John
this nigga
had
the
stopped
fuck out of
by.
my face, bro. Why y'all keep zooming into this bitch ass nigga?
From the door.
Okay, gotcha. So what was the last time, like, before then, when you had seen her, or, I guess, talked with her, like, kind of like you did that day?
The last time I'd seen her before that was probably about, I would say, a week and a half before she was driving down the road.
Nigga trying so hard to piece together his little alibi.
She just stopped me to say hi real quick.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, do you remember the last time, like, my understanding when we spoke the first time, and correct me if I got this wrong, that you, when you were younger, you used to go over and talk with her quite a bit.
I'd go over, talk, help her.
The detectives then asked Jesse Stone whether he had ever been in certain parts of the victim's home. And this leads to their big gotcha moment in this long exchange.
So she's never asked for your help to do those types of, like, household chores, so like laundry or whatever. Okay.
I helped with the laundry machine, but not to do laundry.
Not like you've never done her laundry with for her or bed sheets or anything like that.
No.
You've never, like, taken a nap or slept in any of her bedrooms or anything like that.
No.
Okay. Do you remember if you've ever been in any of those bedrooms?
No.
No.
No. I've never been in any room other than the living room, kitchen, the bathroom.
Okay.
So basically,
Well,
every room, nigga.
Randy Dunn, you probably know that I wouldn't ask that question unless I had a reason to.
Okay.
So, I'm just gonna be honest with you because, I mean, I feel like you've been mostly honest with me. And I know your mom's been honest with me. Is it okay if I call you his mom? Yeah, Brody? Okay, I don't mean to. Okay, yeah. But when I came over to you on, I think that was Sunday, and I was asking you about your clothes and the video and stuff, and I explained that I wanted to get your DNA, because I knew that you had been over there before, because you mentioned, like you told us today, that you had talked with her. So I knew that at the very least, there would be evidence of you being in the porch.
Yeah.
Right? So I went and met with your mom, and you guys signed a consent form, and we got your DNA. Okay.
So nasty.
We sent your DNA and the sex kit up to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, who does testing and stuff for stuff like that.
Yeah. Pocket
Is there
shirt.
any reason at all that your DNA would be on her clothes?
Yep.
Yeah, when I said goodbye to her, we hugged. Like a side hug.
Hey,
Okay.
fuck nigga, just hang it
Well,
up.
I'll be a little
You're
bit more
done. You're
specific. Your
caught.
DNA was on her underwear.
What? Stupid. That nigga know exactly what the fuck they talking about, yo. He trying his hardest to play dumb. That shit ain't
I
gonna
want
work.
you to
That shit ain't
use this
gonna work.
time here
He said
to be
what?
honest with me about what happened that night, because
Nigga, ugly as hell.
I think that we know what happened, and I think that your mom knows what happened.
The thing is, he's trying his best to act confused, but he, like, it's not working. It's not natural.
The time that the call came in.
Nigga said what?
And I think you probably know that you wouldn't be in here unless we had a good reason to put you in.
I don't see. What?
It's not about C, Randy John. It's truth.
Yeah, truth.
Yeah, press the shit, Grandma.
It's impossible for my DNA to be on her underwear.
It's impossible for my DNA to be on her underwear.
That stuff doesn't lie.
God. Ooh,
Sometimes the truth can be hard. You seem like a really good guy, man.
He knows what he did. Like, he knows what he did.
People that need help. You go out there and you help other people. And
He knows what he did.
there's people out there sometimes that make mistakes.
Come over here and
It doesn't make you a bad person for making a mistake.
The detective then
That's
lays
not no
out
mistake.
photos of the
No,
victim,
detective,
showing
trying to
Jesse
soften
Stone
up
what
he
had been
did.
done to her.
That nigga's
Jermaine struggled for years with dental issues before finally finding
He's a
Nubia.
criminal.
Listen to what he wanted most after his smile makeover.
But we just need to understand, like, who is Randy John, man? I don't. And we don't think that was the intention. But we need to understand what happened, man.
Randy, I want to be real with you. We know what happened. What I want is to hear from your own words everything. Oh my God.
In front of Grandma is crazy. Yeah, it's embarrassing as hell.
I want to know why this happened.
Randy, help us understand that.
He's not confused no more, is he? He knows exactly what happened. Come on now.
Randy, look at me for a second. You did this exact same thing when I asked you about you walking down the road, you're jogging down the road at 11 o'clock, and you did the whole, I don't remember, and I was like,
It's bullshit. That's
And you
why. It's
finally
fucking
admitted to it.
bullshit.
and I think this is the exact same thing. I know what happened. And it's only going to help you for you to be honest with me about what happened. Because like I said, we know what happened because we have your DNA at the crime scene.
That nigga left his fucking fingerprints all at the scene.
Like you said, it's not like we're talking about a sweater that it was found on. It's in this elderly woman's underwear.
The fact that the nigga's still trying to act
What do you think of that?
is
We're putting
that.
everything out here and you're kind of just looking at all this, man. I know it might be a shock, but what do you think?
I'm overly confused.
What are you confused about?
I wasn't even near her house. I was across the street.
Like, this shit is funny, but it's not. You know what I mean? Like, it's funny, but it's not. It's not.
A whole hour. You were gone.
Yeah. I said I was gone for about an hour.
The detectives leave the room, and Randy John is left with his grandmother.
Mom, I don't know if you want to have a couple minutes to talk with your son. Katie, I want you to go think real long and hard about everything that happened. And I want to do this, listen, more than I want to have the truth from you about what happened, because I know that you know what happened, I want to do this for her. person as you say she is, and I believe you because I talked with her, getting all of this out in the open for her is what matters. She deserves the truth to be told, and you know it. Personally, I can't believe that.
Hey, Grandma, how do you look at a nigga like this, like, every fucking morning? How do you?
I don't even have the ability to do that.
Well, it's hard for me to believe too. It's really hard for me to believe too that you would do a thing like this.
He know he don't even believe himself.
How many times have you been caught in lies?
I know,
nigga, you're fucking cooked. What was going through your mind when you did that shit?
It's because you're not telling the truth about
Like, nigga, if you was bold enough to do some stupid shit like that, you might as well have just been bold enough to go out and like fucking ask your crush out or some shit like that, nigga. Like, niggas be bold to do the most dumbest shit, but won't do like the simplest shit. They be crashing out, nigga. Like, before you do some dumb shit like this, you should do some simple shit like just go out and like asking out a bunch of girls and seeing who's gonna fuck with you. But niggas just be dumb. Niggas just be dumb.
This woman deserves to have the truth. She deserves it, and you know that.
So
don't say why, Ready John, because why doesn't exist here.
I wasn't at her house.
Ready John,
It's across the street.
look at her. Look at her. That's
say you did it, nigga.
Look at her face. That's
now he wanna get to crying and shit. Nigga, shut the fuck up. Shut up.
I've never seen you hurt anybody, but
I don't wonder.
What the hell are you
The
doing
fake
outside?
crying voice is taking me.
It doesn't make any sense. You just, Ready John, it doesn't make any sense. There's a million different things you can do. Being outside where you don't belong, and you know you don't belong out there.
I'm sorry, but I'm an outdoorsy person.
You're not an outdoorsy person. You're a sit in front of the TV kind of guy.
Yeah, clock his shit. Tell him what he is, what he ain't.
Well, I don't know. I hope and pray you did not do this to this woman. I hope and pray. I hope and pray you did not do this. Because this is horrific. This is a human being. And she deserves justice. She does. If this would have happened to your sister, what would you do?
Murder whoever.
If you know anything about this, Remy John, for her at least, if you care about her, tell the truth. Tell the truth. We've been down that road before where you've been lying about something. You swear up and Remy John, you've lied about stuff before.
Jesse's grandmother leaves the room, and the detectives do most of the talking.
I just got done talking to your mom, and she said that, I mean, you're 14, right? I think every 14-year-old's had some thoughts about what a woman's like and things like that, and I heard that you've been kind of exploring some nudity and pornography. Is that what's going on yet? The thing is, Grandma's got no reason to lie to me, and you have no reason to lie to me about that either. That's totally normal and totally fine. So is that something I heard you taking Grandma's phone and taking a look at that?
No, I don't do it on Grandpa's phone. I haven't been able to do it since I had my computer because she takes everything away.
Yeah. Well, is it true that you were looking at some of that stuff? Like I said, it's totally normal, man. Okay. And like I said, and I think like Detective Hardigan said, it's totally normal to want to find out about these things, especially for someone. It seems like you really truly cared about this woman.
Yeah.
And maybe you just wanted to figure out what was what, man.
Well, like, maybe you went into there and you didn't expect her to be awake. And so you freaked out. You get it. And that's what it looks like. Is that this was oh shit. And then maybe you just walked around not expecting her to, maybe you just wanted to knock her out. You didn't think it would hurt her this bad.
Mm-hmm. Stop trying to justify what this nigga did, bro. He's guilty.
What we're trying to figure out, Randy John, is like Detective Hardigan said, like we're pretty certain of what happened. But we're trying to figure out is Randy John the kind of guy that breaks into people's houses with axes and chops them up into pieces and leaves them and murders them, or did Randy John just make a mistake? Did he go into the house and expect this 91-year-old woman to be sleeping and maybe figure out something about life, and then things just went awry? Because the thing is, people panic, man, and people do things that they don't mean and they don't want to do when they panic.
So the detectives, as you saw there, tried to make Jesse Stone feel comfortable, like he just made a mistake, so he would open up to them. Eventually, he confesses, saying that he watched pornography on the victim's iPad and then went into her room and assaulted her. His confession is redacted under Florida law, so you won't be able to hear it.
Honestly, Randy John, I feel like you probably wish that this had never happened. Like, I honestly still believe that you never really intended to hurt.
I knew it.
You tried to hurt.
Guilty.
I don't intend to hurt anyone.
The male detective and Jesse Stone talk extensively about him watching pornography, and Jesse talks very openly and freely about it.
Do you mind if I give you some more stuff? Sure. So, how old were you when you started watching the porn videos?
My friend showed them to me when I was 10.
10? So you've been watching them since you were 10?
Early.
Off and on, yeah.
Okay. How often do you think you're watching them before you got put on restriction?
Once or twice a week.
Okay. And what kind of stuff were you watching? Looking at pictures? Were you watching videos?
A mix of both.
Mix of both? Okay. And what site do you normally use?
The XNXX.
XNXX. And that's all it's called? You just put that into Google, XNXX?
Yeah, it was the website my friend showed me.
Okay.
Jesse Stone pleaded guilty to the charges back in December. He'll be sentenced next month. He is now 15 years old. And that's it for this episode of Crime Fix. I'm Anjanette Levy. Thank you so much for being with me. I'll see you back here next